What is going on, everybody? Kamusta kayo lahat mula sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or wherever the heck you are on the planet? This is your one and only Jake of all trades, the place to be for any niche, every genre, and all generations. I am your master of ceremony, D to the E to the LRO, aka JDR, aka the extraordinary introvert. So what's up, gang? We are back with another episode. So far, kaya pa naman. There's no signs of slowing down for me. Wala pa naman akong online fatigue. So again, I'm doing this for you guys. I'm also doing it for me as I continue to develop and grow this podcast. I'm really grateful for everyone so far that has tuned in. So just early plugs before we get into it. So yeah, major thanks to everyone so far. It's been 2 weeks, I think, since we launched, and so far, so good naman. And I just look forward to seeing us grow together as a community moving forward. So now that we have the cheesy stuff out of the way, let me introduce to you the topic and our guest for the day. Or for tonight as of this recording. So right now, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. I'm sure people my age are going to love this, especially the nerds and the geeks out there, but deep down, y'all are really cool. So we are going to discuss streaming and gaming. So I've noticed personally that there have been a lot of Twitch streamers, whether they're doing it for free, whether they're doing it as a means to make money. It's been booming lately. So I personally am curious how this industry has risen, how this industry has become like a normal way to just earn income while expand the community of these gamers. So we're gonna learn a lot more of that from one of the best streamers in the community. He is a seasoned veteran. He's been streaming since January, and you can really tell he's dedicated to his craft, and I will link you to his streams later on. So enough of the introductions. He'll tell you a lot more about himself later. But ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the one and only Oshu Luna. What's up?
Thank you, everyone. It's great to be here tonight. But yo, Jake, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm so excited to be here, dude.
By the way, quick pahabol lang. Josh was my blockmate back in college.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the two of us. We did not shift courses, even though a lot started going out of social sciences. We just stayed. We were the last remnants of this course. So yeah.
Last few.
Yep, last few.
For sure. But yo, Jake, I'm really happy to be here. So excited to see your podcast grow, and I'm happy to be part of the roots of it. I'm happy to be here since day one. I'm excited.
Yeah, as early as now, I want to give Josh his major props because he's been hyping up my project since I had this idea.
You're killing the game, bro. Of course.
Yeah, thanks. Really appreciate it. So, before we start, as with any other guest, the floor is yours. Go ahead and humble brag, buddy.
Oh, all right. I'll introduce myself. So my name is Oshu. Like Jake said, I was his blockmate. I'm from the Ateneo as well, and yeah, I'm a streamer. I also work full time, but I also stream on the side. So I stream over at Twitch at twitch.tv/Oshu Luna. Put that out there. Jake's probably gonna have it linked below, but it's fine. But yeah, what else can I say about myself? I just really like video games, and I like talking to people. So that's why streaming's pretty cool for me. But yeah,
oh, that's good. It's really good to know. Yeah, so as you guys heard, he's not just a streamer, but he works full time. So yeah, I really respect the grind, and he's really just killing the game out there on Twitch, and we're gonna talk about that later.
Thanks, man.
But before we start, I actually wonder how you got that Oshu nickname of yours. Is that like the Japanese translation of Josh, or was there like a deeper
Okay.
meaning or deeper like story to why you were named Oshu.
All right. So this goes way back to before I was born even. So when my parents when my mom was pregnant, for all of us kids, they never really found out the gender, you know. They always kept it secret up until the day we were born. So being the youngest, they thought I was gonna be a girl. So they prepared like a really nice girl name, which I won't say because everyone's gonna make fun of me for it. But so they prepared like a really nice girl name for me. But lo and behold, here I am. I'm a boy. And so they were like, "Oh no, what do we name him?" Because you know we can't use the girl name, right? So they named me Joshua. And if you go through like the names of my family, I'm the only one without a second name. So I'm just Joshua. So I went as Josh for like most of my life. And I felt that the name was a bit too common, you know, like every class I had in college, there was at least like one more Josh or Joshua. And it was rough, you know. So I wanted to be creative. So I thought of Oshu because Oshu's basically just Joshua. And then you take out the J and the A. So that's literally it. There's no real meaning behind it. It's not supposed to be any Japanesey thing. Like I didn't want to use Josh, and Shua was like a weirder nickname. So I thought, hey, why don't I just hit the middle? You know, use Oshu. And so far, it's been really cool. Like I really like being called Oshu. Like both in stream and in work, people call me Oshu now. So yeah, that's it. There's no real story behind it.
All right. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I actually realized that you're basically the same name minus the J and the A. So
yeah.
That's pretty dope. All right, so thank you, Oshu, for introducing yourself to me. Well, not to me, but to my viewers and listeners. So we're just gonna enjoy. I'm just gonna have fun in this discussion. It's not really a discussion because unlike the past two episodes where we talked about schooling, because some of my listeners are students or even teachers, so the school year has been tough for them, or at least preparing has been difficult in itself.
For sure.
But my goal is through these episodes, we try to lighten the mood a little bit and just bring on much needed positivity and productivity as we go along in this year. And it's a new month, by the way. It's August, so
August 1. It's crazy. It's like 2020 just came by in a flash, you know? So many things happened. Like, wow. Man. We're already in August, and then next month it's gonna be September. Are you crazy? Man, I don't get it.
Before I know it, see Jose Marichan, he's gonna be back.
I know, yo.
He's gonna be back.
I saw a meme on that just now, where he was already like peeking out of the side. It was really funny. So, yeah.
Yep. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get into it. So, if I'm not mistaken, you're a Twitch streamer, and
yes,
my first question for you is, what inspired you to pursue streaming? So, I gave a backstory in my intro, in my pilot episode, why I wanted to do podcasting. So, I want to hear from you this time. Like, why did you pursue Twitch streaming all of a sudden? Like, what was that spark?
Okay.
What was that sign of motivation for you to do such a thing?
Yeah. All right. So, back in the day, I guess back in high school, streaming wasn't something in my radar, you know. It wasn't anything close to what I wanted to do, honestly. And it's because back then, streaming wasn't as accessible. Like both streaming and the stream platforms, like Twitch, they weren't as big. At the time, the bigger platforms were like YouTube, you know. So we know all of the classic YouTubers, you know, like Ryan Higa, PewDiePie back in the day, things like that. So back then, like I really didn't pay attention to streaming up until two of my really close friends started streaming. So the first one was, his name is Jules. He's a good buddy of mine. We used to play Call of Duty every day.
Wow.
In like I think it was 2014. Every day in 2014, we'd get on, we'd play Call of Duty until like 4 or 5 a.m. It was so fun. Yeah, and then he started streaming, and it was exciting, you know, because it was like, yo, look, this is a close friend of mine, you know, doing something new, you know, playing the game, and I got to watch him. You know, it was pretty fun, and it made it really relatable for me because he was my friend. He was making, you know, really funny jokes. I was laughing. I was being genuinely entertained, and like that kind of flicked the switch. You know, it was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Seeing someone I know stream, and like he looks like Shroud. He looks like all the other big streamers, but he's not. You know, he's just my friend, and he's just having a fun time, and that made it look really cool to me. You know, and my second friend who started streaming at the time his name was Pao. I met him a few years after, and he's actually one of my moderators now, which I'll get into later.
Oh,
nice.
That's nice.
But yeah, so Pao, he started streaming. When I first met him, he was already streaming, and I was like, why do you stream? Because like he doesn't really stream for the viewers or anything. He doesn't really try to be a full-time streamer. He just streams for fun. And he was like, oh, I only stream, you know, for the boys. He calls it streaming for the boys, you know? Like if his friends can't play but they want to watch him play, he'll stream. And at the same time, if something funny or if something cool happens, then, you know, he'll clip it, he'll record it, and then he'll post it on YouTube for everyone to see. And it's pretty cool. It's like not only is he streaming for fun, but also like to get the memories, because that was something that I've also really wanted to do before, which was like capture a lot of the in-game moments that I've had that were either really cool, like I made a really cool play, or something really funny happened. I could never really, you know, get it on videotape until now. So he really gave me like a new perspective on streaming, where it's not just about making money or playing the game really well. It's honestly just about like having fun and sharing it with other people, which is, I think, one of the biggest points to streaming. So, yeah.
Wow,
that's what got me started. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very dope backstory to say the least. Yeah, I mean the fact that you guys play nonstop during that year in 2014.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It must have been really fun.
That year was the year I got my Xbox 360. And that was my baby. Like I was on that every day. It was crazy.
Wow. Wow, that's actually very very intriguing to hear. And what do you think now about these new consoles that are launching? Like, what are your thoughts of, you know, we have the PS5 in November. We have the Xbox, the newest version of the Xbox coming really soon.
Yeah, the Series X. They're very interesting. You know, they're really trying to innovate the next generation, and I understand why. You know, because these consoles, they last for like, I'd say about 5 to 7 years. Like the PS4 was probably released in like 2012, 2013, maybe 2012. And so yeah, with the next gen consoles coming up, it's pretty interesting because there's always that comparison between consoles versus PC. And personally, I'm a PC gamer. I like my keyboard and mouse, you know. But seeing the new consoles makes it pretty interesting, you know, with all because every generation they always amp up the specs. They always make the console stronger, which allows for better games, you know, better immersion. So I don't know. I'm excited to say the least, because it's like I want to see, you know, the innovations they're gonna make with these new consoles. Like I remember when the PS4 came out and VR was a new thing, and seeing all the new VR games and stuff, like that was already so crazy to me back then. Now, like say 5-6 years time, what's gaming gonna look like, you know? Because it's these companies that really dictate what gaming looks like, you know, how you'll play the game, what type of games will be popular and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited to see this.
Wow, yeah. And so am I. Like I'm just looking at these trailers and these promotion advertisements, and you can really tell they're ready for the next step or the next jump from the current gen to the next. So with that out of the way,
by the way.
no worries. So with that out of the way, now that my viewers know about your background, your origin roots when it comes to
Yeah.
streaming, how do you now balance it with work life? Because as you mentioned earlier, you also work full time, and I also noticed that you don't stream every day. You only do it, I don't know, twice or thrice a week.
Yeah.
So how do you find time to still go gaming while keeping up to par with your weekly deliverables, if you will? Like, how do you overcome that?
Well, all right. The reason why I don't stream every day is also probably my answer is because I have a schedule that I tend to stick to, because both work and streaming, they're both very draining things. Like, work is work. Work is very draining. I work from like 8 to 5, 40 hours a week. And it gets pretty tough sometimes, so I get really tired. And streaming is its own, it's its own environment, really.
Yeah.
Because when you're streaming, you're not just playing the game, you're not just playing the game. Yeah, you're trying to be entertaining, you're trying to accommodate people, all while live streaming, And so streaming itself is very draining. So what I usually do is I just create a schedule where I can manage doing both. So I'll only stream, usually right now my schedules, I stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then sometimes if, say for example, my Wednesday is really stressful or maybe my Monday is really stressful, then I'll move it down one day. So I'll stream Wednesday, Friday, then maybe Saturday or Sunday, And yeah, it's just about giving yourself time, taking breaks, getting that mental reset, because streaming can be really, really tiring. Like sometimes after stream, I shut off my PC and then I just knock out and I go to sleep. Because but it's like a satisfying sleep, like when you do something. Yeah. When you do something tiring, but then you're happy that you did it. Yeah, that's what streaming is for me. It's more fulfilling, I guess. So yeah. So making time for both. Sorry. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm good.
Oh, yeah. So with the scheduling, you're pretty much flexible. So you're not like other streamers who follow a strict schedule, like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, catch me on Twitch or whatever. Like
yeah. It's because with my full-time job right now, that's kind of my priority. But I do wanna get to a point where I stream full-time. That'd be. I feel like that's still pretty far ahead of me. Yeah. But at the same time, that's what I really want to do. I feel like that's because how they say, like, if you love what you work, if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I wanna get to. So, yeah.
And it's also interesting that you pointed out how streaming can be very draining for you, and I guess this can apply to any project you guys are pursuing. Because me personally, I just realized now that I've been so drained this past week. I mean, I posted 2 episodes this week.
Yeah.
And it's very tiring. I mean, you have to edit the video, you have to wait for it to upload to an MP4, then you have to extract the audio file. It can be very taxing. But to be honest, just like you, Josh, or Oshu, I am actually very fulfilled. I feel like very content. And even though I lose sleep, like I slept at 2 a.m. twice in a row this last week, just trying to deliver content, to my audience. It can be very fulfilling, to say the least. Kahit na nawawalan ka ng tulog, on certain days.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's really the passion that comes from finding something new. Finding, like, when I first started streaming, I was learning so many things, like what are the best stream settings. I was learning. I remember you talked about in your first episode where you learned Photoshop and editing. Yeah, I had to learn all that too. Like, wow, I had to Google how do you rasterize a layer, how do you cut and paste and things like that. So, because I didn't really have the money to hire like a graphic artist or a graphic designer for my overlays. So I really wanted to learn on my own, and it was also fun, like learning all these new skills, being able to do all these things, and just the passion that comes from finding something new. it's really fulfilling.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And it's great that you mentioned those things because that leads me to my next question. What were some of the challenges that you had to deal with? So I guess you mentioned one of those, that you didn't have the means for, graphic designers or artists to collaborate with you in your work. So besides that, did you have any other trouble with equipment, logistics,
For sure.
the OBS stuff that I keep seeing on YouTube? So what are just some of these challenges that you had to overcome early on?
I guess I can talk about this in like 3 phases. All right, let's start with like before you even have your first stream. Before you press the go live button. What are the challenges there? Probably the biggest hurdle that a person who wants to get into streaming is gonna face is hardware. So streaming is very hardware dependent. You really need to have like a good computer. You really need to have good internet, very stable internet. You need to have good camera, good microphone, things like that, just to have like really good quality content. Because not everyone wants to watch like a really buggy, really laggy stream, or if there's like a scrunchiness or a screeching in the mic, that's not really appealing to people. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So gathering all the hardware, being able to get those things is probably going to be the first challenge, especially since a lot of these things are kind of expensive, like a streaming mic, a webcam, getting a good PC. These are things that are kind of pretty expensive to some people. So for that though, there are a lot of cheaper alternatives. It's a lot easier now. Honestly, I started January of 2019, and so it's been like a year and a half almost, and it's way easier now to get into streaming compared to last year because that's the thing with tech really, and with PC and just streaming equipment. They always release new things. It's always a lot easier, and quality just gets a lot better, and things get cheaper as well. So right now it's pretty easy to start streaming, but then again, that's only for some people. For others, it might be a bit hard. It might still be a bit tough to afford, a good PC maybe or a good camera. But a lot of these things can be what's this? There are a lot of solutions for this. Like my first stream, or like rather the first few months of me streaming, I didn't own a gaming PC. So I was streaming out of an internet cafe for like 3 or 4 months because I just didn't have a gaming PC. I'd always game at internet cafes, and so at the time I was trying to get into competitive Fortnite because this was when like the Fortnite World Cup was announced. And this was one of the biggest gaming events in the world, which had open qualifiers. That meant literally anyone who played the game could qualify. And so me and my friends, we were trying for that. We were really, practicing really hard for the games. And I thought, what? Why not stream it? Like how when you play basketball and you watch yourself, you video your shooting form, your layup form, kind of the same thing. I'd watch my videos, my past streams, see what I did wrong for the game to help me, I guess, train for the World Cup, which I didn't qualify for, sadly, but I did pretty well, I'd like to say. But yeah, so hardware is a really big challenge. I think the second challenge in like the first phase probably be picking your platform, because right now platform is like something that's really important because it really sets you up. So right now there are like 3 major streaming platforms. So there's Twitch, there's Facebook Gaming, and then there's YouTube. So choosing your platform is really important because every platform offers different things for you as a streamer, especially in terms of growth and analytics and being able to reach other people, things like that. Also the payouts are different. Like I know Facebook has a different system compared to Twitch and YouTube. So picking the right platform is also important. So I stream on Twitch, but a lot of people nowadays they stream on Facebook Gaming, which is also really interesting because because like everyone and their mom, is on Facebook. Literally, everyone's on Facebook, and it's so easy to watch a video on Facebook. So being able to reach a lot of new eyes is really easy on that platform. But then again, it's not really a gaming centric platform, which YouTube and Twitch offer. So it's a really big debate that goes on. So there's hardware, and then there's platform. Yeah, and then I feel like the next challenge that comes with being a brand new streamer is starting that first stream. Because when you're streaming, like, it's very different. You're not just gaming anymore. You're gaming in front of people. People are watching you. They're watching your gameplay, and they're watching you at the same time. So it's easy to get pretty self-conscious when it comes to streaming. Like, you really need to learn how to be comfortable in front of a camera. And it really took a while for me. Like, I remember my first stream. I didn't even have a camera, but I was just so nervous. Like, I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to be entertaining. And then I remember my first face cam stream. Like, I remember I spent like 2 hours in front of the mirror making sure I looked okay. Like, I took a shower, I fixed my hair.
Damn.
All for like 2-3 viewers. But it mattered to me because I didn't want to. I wanted to like look my best. I wanted to try. I was just nervous. Now I'm gladly. Now I'm a lot more comfortable in front of the camera now. Like, you can probably find some clips of me like dancing in front of my camera for stream and stuff. But yeah. And I think another challenge with streaming is learning how to troubleshoot on the spot, because you're basically like a one-man show streaming. It's like if something goes wrong with your internet or your game or your stream, you're gonna have to fix this in the limited time you have. And it kind of sucks sometimes. Sometimes you can't fix it. I've had times where you get like a brownout and internet doesn't come back for like a few hours, so I have to cancel stream, things like that. So having to deal with problems on your own is also something that's really important. Yeah, I guess the last challenge, probably one of the biggest challenges of streaming, is getting yourself out there. Let's say, for example, you finished a few streams, you got a good following. While streaming can be fun, if your goal is to make it, a job or a career, or at least something that you can make money out of, then you're really gonna need to grow. And this growth is most times really hard. Because right now, like you said in your intro, right now there are so many streamers out there. It's booming. But at the same time, that means the market for streaming is really saturated, There are so many people that offer different things, So it's hard to get out of the mess, Like, it's hard to try and stand out. But there are ways to do it. Like, one of the best ways to grow on streaming right now is to network. So if you know other streamers, or if you know other content creators you can collab with, but things like that, just getting to know people and being able to network is really important in streaming and content creation in general nowadays. And but that's the thing with growth as well, because it's also, I'll admit, it's also very disheartening sometimes. When you don't get a lot of new follows, or you don't get a lot of viewers certain times, like the numbers really get you, like the numbers really get to your head. But a lot of it is really just, taking things in stride, making sure that you have a support team. That's another thing that you should really have as a streamer, is a moderator team, because for streams, you don't always pay attention to the stream. Like, especially when there are like toxic people in chat, or if something goes wrong, you have moderators. They're basically, people who can help you out whenever something goes wrong. They're also so like my moderators. They're also like my creative team. So if ever I have an idea for something to do on stream, like say for example, for this stream, I want to set a goal, and then when I reach that goal, I'll do something for this stream. I'll bring it up to my moderators. I'll be like, "What do you guys think? You guys have any comments, suggestions?" Usually they'll shoot my ideas down because sometimes my ideas are like pretty out there, but sometimes they're like, "Oh, maybe if you like tweak it a little, then maybe we can do it." But yeah, so having that support system of moderators and other streamer friends as well who can help you really make streaming a lot more fun, you know?
Wow. So basically, to summarize, that was a lot of issues, but they're very like critical. Like you have to really tackle each and every one in order to have a successful stream. So hardware, the first stream. What was the one? What was the second one?
It's growth.
So hardware, growth, the first stream, troubleshooting, and platform. So 5.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot.
But yeah, it just goes to show you that you have to take care of so many things, like when it comes to streaming. And I actually saw myself in your position, because even though I'm in a completely different industry, which is podcasting, the issues are just similar. Because when it comes to hardware, you know, I don't have the most expensive webcam for this interview. You know, I was just lucky that my brother needed to buy, you know, headphones and a condenser mic because he is part of a band. So at least, you know, I got to give major props to my siblings for allowing me to borrow their equipment when I need to record and stuff like that. And I guess you really got me on the growth part, because there are times where I can feel disheartened, I can overthink a lot. Minsan tinatanong ko sa sarili ko, bakit wala masyado akong likes, followers? Not that that's not my main goal naman, but you know, it really helps naman talaga to have a massive following. So sometimes there are days where I wonder why I don't have that yet. And that very first stream, I think I had the similar feelings, had similar vibes to you. I think if you remember the first episode, that was my second take, because the first take, there was a lot of pause moments, there was a lot of stuttering and all that, and there were just stuff that I didn't want to say out loud live. So that was actually a take 2, if you will. So very relatable yung mga issues mo. And I'm really just proud of how you overcame all of that. I mean, there were a lot of issues that you listed down, but the fact that, you know, you're here, I did not know actually that you started a year ago. I really thought you started 2020.
So I started early 2019. So I streamed for like 6 months out of an internet cafe, and then I stopped for a bit, and then I saved enough money to buy my own gaming PC, and that was, I think, in September. And September was when I really, you know, got into it. Like September onwards was when I started actually investing in learning Photoshop, in equipment, upgrading things. So,
Wow.
Yeah, it's a grind, to say the least.
And so far, you're doing pretty well. Like, I can really see in every stream how you're fully invested, how you really interact with your community.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's tough. It's tough for sure.
No, because there's some streamers, when they get too popular, they totally forget that there were some comments that were listed down. So the fact that you take the time to reply to each and every one of us one by one is very it's good to know. And at least, you know, amidst the success or amidst the growth that you're experiencing right now, you don't forget like what got you there in the first place, or which people got you there in the first place. So it's good to know.
For sure, man. It's always the viewers. Like, you know, we wouldn't be in our positions without people watching us, supporting us, listening to us. You know, so it's always back to them.
Unfortunately, though, not everyone can be down with what you're doing, and this is where the haters come in. This is where the unfair matchmaking comes in. This is where we there are days where you want to just cuss out loud at the developers of video games. So how do you deal with all these stuff? Because me personally, I'm not a streamer, but ever since quarantine started, all I've been doing is, of course, this, but I've been gaming a lot on my PS4. And not a day or not a week goes by without me going up against a toxic gamer. Because my main games are Warzone and 2K. And in 2K most especially, there are just so many toxic gamers. Like they try to cheat their way to getting a win, and then they would like stop the game, like they'd pause it in the middle just to turn on their mic and say, "Oh, you're trash, bro. Oh, you know, you're trash, or you don't have any skill whatsoever." Have you ever experienced that in some of your games? And like, how do you overcome this stuff?
All right. So, right now my main game is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And it's honestly one of the most toxic games because, you know, there's voice chat and stuff like that. It's ultra competitive, you know, because it's very intense gameplay, you know. Like if you lose, it really means a lot to a lot of people when you lose.
Yeah.
So I've had my share of people trash talking me. I've also trash talked a lot of people. So, but I learned this from competitive gaming because before Counter-Strike, you know, I was playing Fortnite. Before that, I was playing League of Legends. Both were also very, very toxic environments. League of Legends, honestly, one of the most toxic games out there, especially since we're in the Philippines. You know, Philippine League. Well, no. It's like if you have a weak heart, don't play Philippine League. Like you can make one mistake, and there's just gonna be like lines of cuss words against you, telling you to uninstall the game. You know, just do something else, things like that. But a lot of times, you know, it's like just taking things in stride. Honestly, like I think my number one rule is always just leaving it in the game. Yeah, it's again that at the end of the day, you know, it's just a game. Unless it's like a $1 million tournament, you know,
a wager.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's just a game, it's just a game. Just leave it in the game. Nothing personal. Don't you know, take what they say seriously because I mean, like, who are these people? You know, they're not anyone important to you. They're just a random that you ended up fighting against or teaming with. You know. So, yeah, just leaving it in the game and having that just positive mindset, you know, where every game is a new game. It's a new game to be a better player, you know, to be less toxic, things like that. So, yeah. And when it comes to streaming, when there are toxic people in streaming, having that support system really helps because I've had those instances where I was streaming. So this one time I was streaming, and this guy came into my chat, you know, and he was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" I was talking to him through the chat, and he was like, "Yo, can you add me on Steam?" I was like, usually I don't really add randoms, because it gets kind of scary. So I was like, I'm not sure, bro. And he was really like, no, dude, come on, add me. Let's play together. And I was like, no. It's okay, maybe some other time. And then after when I said no, like the fourth time, like he just kept cussing me out in my own chat. And it was stressful, but my mods were there, you know, they banned them right away. Things like that. Like that are the reasons why mods are really important. That's why I love my mods. Shout out to Diego, Pao, Deether, and Jack.
Nice.
Also Kobe. Kobe's kind of a mod. But yeah. So having a support system, and I think like the last advice I could give, just anything toxic in general, is just to take a break from it. You know, like if the game's too toxic, maybe take a day off from the game. You know, if you're not having fun with the game, if there are too many toxic people, just take a break, or maybe if there's like a mute function, just mute everyone and then play your game.
Yeah.
Play the game the way you want to play it. You don't need to listen to other people.
Mm.
But yeah, that's about it.
Mm.
And don't be toxic. You know what?
Yeah.
If you're toxic in games, then look at yourself in the mirror and ask why. Because it's just a game, bro.
Mhm.
Then again, I am also pretty toxic, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it just gets to us sometimes, you know? Like,
Mhm,
if it's too
mhm.
much. If it's too much, we end up being toxic as well.
Yeah.
But there are always like good people in gaming too.
Yeah.
Like, some of the best people I've met in my life are people I've met through video games.
Mm.
Some of whom I've never even met in person.
Wow.
Like, I have a friend, my chief mod, Diego. I met him last year, like February, in game, and to this day we have not met in person. Even like,
Are you serious?
even like before the quarantine, we've never met in person, and it's always so funny. So it's like we want to see how far we can go without actually meeting each other. But
Yeah.
man, like, I can say he is like one of my favorite people in the world. And when that day comes where we do meet, let's just say he's getting a few kisses from me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow. Just when I thought 2K in itself was a toxic community, I never thought other video games would have much more toxic gamers and all of that. And I guess before we continue, I'd like to personally apologize to my family because I've been playing 2K a lot lately. I've been playing my team. I'm sure for the basketball fanatics out there, you guys know this. And every single night, I'm sure my dad, he'd hear me drop F-bombs and all that.
Oh man.
All the expletives. It's not because I want to say these, but like, the game is just so toxic to the point that you just want to let it all out. And like, you know that feeling that after you lose a game, you literally lose the will to live. Or I know I'm exaggerating, but like, you have that heavy feeling like,
yeah,
oh
you're just
damn,
there
I
like,
lost that game. Like, it takes forever to recover. Like, I know how you feel, bro.
for sure.
But yeah, I'd like to personally apologize to my family for putting up with my ramblings whenever I play 2K or whatever video games.
Maybe you need to buy like soundproof pads, you know, to put it around you so they don't have to hear you.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's pretty tough, you know, dealing with toxic gamers. And
For sure.
I guess this is a segue to like, because I've been noticing that there are also female streamers, and I've been seeing a lot on Twitter how they get called out a lot, they get canceled a lot. So I guess what's your advice to them? Because I personally just want a streaming like world where it's diverse, you know, just like in podcasting where you want to be as diverse and inclusive as possible. I kind of want you guys to also have that same inclusive environment where y'all are just having a good time. It can be competitive, but y'all ain't having personal attacks or just flat out canceling each other out. So what advice could you give to the females out there who want to try out streaming, even though society kind of paints them as not fit if they try doing this, even though for me personally that's not true?
Okay. I don't know if I'm like the best person to speak on behalf of females, but if I were to say something, I'd say go for it. You know, a lot of these people who call female streamers out, you know, a lot of them are just, you know, behind the mask of the internet. You know, it's so easy to trash talk and call people out on the internet.
Yeah.
And I feel like moving past that is really important. A lot of the female streamers I know, you know, they probably all have their accounts of being harassed in chat and in person, which are all like terrible experiences that no one really should go through. But I guess if I were to say anything, it's just having that really good support system, having those mods to really like filter out the people in chat. Like if someone's kind of, you know, mean or kind of being or kind of harassing the person, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Just time him out, ban him right away. Just save all the talking. Just get it over with,
Mm-hmm.
and just create the environment that you want to stream in. Because it's your community, and a lot of times there are people who just like want to hate. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird when there are just people that wake up in the morning and think, "You see this streamer? I'm gonna say she's ugly or she's fat, or this other streamer is prettier or better at the game." No one cares.
Yeah.
Like, okay, bro, do your thing. Here you go. You get banned. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just take control of your own stream. It's not their stream. It's your stream. But yeah, that's. I think that's all I can say about that.
Have you ever cussed on live streaming before?
Oh, multiple times, all the time. Honestly, like I had a.
I don't see it because I don't watch the whole thing, but
there are times.
Have you done it?
Like, there was a time where I was just so tilted, and I was like on the edge, and I legit just walked up, just left my room for like 10 minutes, and I went outside. Like the stream was just a chair, and I was like, "All right, guys, I'm back." But there have been times where I'd like, there's this clip of me. It's probably my most viewed clip. It was on CS:GO, and this random I queued with was he was grieving me, like he was making me die and stuff. And I got so mad at him that I screamed. Like I got my mic and then I put it close to my mouth and I screamed at him, and it was so bad. Like it's honestly so embarrassing for me, but so many people find it so funny. Like I was so triggered, dude. Like I swear, like you could probably watch it in my clips.
Yeah.
It's probably there. I think it's called Oof. I'm not sure. But yeah, my friends love bringing that clip up because it's just me getting so triggered. But yeah, well, I'm also not exempt to like being toxic, a toxic gamer.
Yo, I think every streamer has that moment. Like I've searched every compilation of streamers getting pissed. I'm sure, as much as people think I'm weird whenever I shout at the screen after losing a game, I realized that it's not just me. Like every single streamer goes through this every single day or every time they stream. So I guess if there's any consolation, it's like it's almost normal, even though the behavior is anything but. Like, it's a common behavior, and it adds to the experience of streaming.
Yeah, I get you.
So I guess before we wrap this up, what's your message? What's your final message to those aspiring to be streamers like you? So let's say there's one of the viewers of my pod wants to become a streamer one day, and he doesn't know where to start. So and he doesn't know what exactly his goals are, whether to make money, whether to do it for fun. I guess with you being a streamer, a seasoned streamer at that, like what message or what piece of advice could you give those that are on the fence, those that want to consider streaming as either a side project, a hobby, or maybe even their main source of income?
Okay. Honestly, the first thing I'd tell you is just to go for it, because you never know until you try. It's like with this podcast or with honestly any passion project or dream. You'll never know until you take that first step. So I feel like you should just go for it. And if money's an issue, or if like there are any obstacles in your way, then maybe it's not your time yet. Maybe save up more money to get better equipment, or maybe wait a few days, a few weeks, maybe a few months to start when it's a lot better. And there are also a lot of cheaper alternatives, so maybe look for those. But they say, like, if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you really want to stream, go for it. Just know that it's a lot of money. It's a lot of investing, not just money, but time and energy, making your stream grow, designing, things like that. And it's gonna get tough. I think that's like the second thing I tell someone, especially someone who thinks that streaming is overnight success. It definitely isn't, because a lot of the bigger streamers now, say for example, Shroud, Ninja, Tim Tatman, to name a few, PewDiePie even. Like a lot of them had their humble beginnings, you know. Like Tim the Tatman has been streaming for like 11 years now.
Wow.
You can believe it. And like imagine going through those motions every day for 11 years, where it's like, why am I not growing enough? Why am I not as good as this other streamer? Why is this person getting more views than me? You know? So it's a lot of insecurities, honestly, that go through your head, but it should always be, you know, just taking these things in stride, remembering why you started streaming in the first place, and linking to that, I think the last thing I'd say is, before you start streaming, before you invest all this time, this money, make sure you know what you're streaming for, or like make sure you know why you're doing it. Because if your main focus is to make it like an income generating thing, to make money out of it and to be famous, honestly, it's gonna be really disheartening for the first, I'd say, like for the first 3-4 years maybe, because you know you invest so much in streaming and it doesn't necessarily return, because you're not gonna be the most entertaining gamer, you're the most amazing gamer overnight. You know, it's a lot of growth, it's a lot of learning how to do different things, and so honestly, just have fun with it. Like that's if it's something new to you, then just enjoy the entire process, enjoy learning, enjoy streaming, and the money should just come later on, you know, when it becomes possible. So yeah, I think that's it. Just go for it, you know, and ask for help too. You know, ask streamers. I'm sure there are a lot of streamers out there right now who post videos and who can explain as well, like how do you start streaming? How do you grow big? You know, everyone really has their own method for it. Everyone has their own way, and it's all about just finding your own way. There's no real concrete, you know, path to being famous or to being a great streamer. It's all just taking that first step, then the next step, then the next step, and then it just goes on. Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more there. Yes, I do agree that success on any field doesn't come overnight, and as much as creators like us make it look easy by posting videos and streams and all that links, there's so much behind the scenes groundwork that we need to do, and I couldn't agree with you more with all the challenges you had to overcome, all the difficulties you had to overcome, even the financial issues. I'm sure you had to deal with a lot of those, but you know, look where both of us are now. We're just doing what we love doing the most, and I'm truly grateful and I'm truly happy that we're both making an impact in today's very extraordinary society, right? World we're living in.
Sure.
I just want to ask, by the way, like, for those who don't know, Josh is not just a streamer, but he's also a huge fan of anime and Japanese culture in general. And I know that's a different topic for a different day, but did that love for manga or Japanese culture, did that play a role in you wanting to become a streamer, or is that like a totally different niche in itself and you just wanted to expand your horizons?
It's probably just a totally different niche, because I started liking Japanese culture before I started streaming. So, and it wasn't really that big of a connection to it. It's just like the culture that I really enjoy, you know. But I mean, I guess it helps too, because it's like it just gives me more things to talk about on stream. Like it expands my community, you know. Like my community isn't just limited to gamers anymore. If you're interested in anime, you can come to my stream. We can talk about anime and geek out about, you know, Haikyuu endings. So sad. but yeah, just it didn't really influence me to start streaming. But yeah.
All right, that's good to know. So there you go, guys. If you guys are fans of Haikyuu or whatever anime, you know who to talk to every time he has a stream.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's it for now. Thank you very much for taking the time to be here. I know it's Saturday. I know both of us want to have this day off, but the fact that you went here for about an hour or so, it's truly heartwarming, and I'm really glad that we got to talk again after such a long time.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you making time for me to be on your show. You're crazy, dude.
Wow.
Thank you so much. You should plug your what's that competition you're joining?
Oh, Spring Studios. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone should go like that post, share it, comment.
Vote for entry number 35.
Yeah, entry number 35, dude.
Yep.
That's your MJ number. Your number 35, bro. Like, I'll call him. Call it right now, dude. Big thing. I'm so excited, dude, because I love seeing, small content creators do, just get out there, do big things.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. So I'm really excited for both of us, where we'll be in 5-10 years, who knows?
I know.
Maybe you'll be, Spotify's top podcast. I don't know. Maybe I'll be Twitch's top streamer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. We'll see. But people will look back to this podcast right here and be like, yo, that's where they started, and here's where they are now. Crazy.
Yeah, and people are gonna look at your stream and be like, "Oh, remember when this guy was sweating his ass off in his first episode?"
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, any last-minute shameless plugs? Like, you may want my listeners to, or they may want to check you out. So, where can they find you, and what are your links so that they can access you easily?
Anything, honestly, on any social media, just search Oshu Luna. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, just search Oshu Luna. That's me. I'm there. TikTok, even. I'm also gonna try. TikTok is a really fun platform that I kind of want to try getting into, but that's another discussion altogether. But yeah, anything, just Oshu Luna, plain and simple. That's it.
All right, there you have it, guys. So Oshu Luna for him. That's OSHULUNA.
Yes,
so.
Sir.
That's where you guys should follow him. If you want to follow me, it's at JOAT.pod.delro on my podcast
Can I just
account.
say, I love your intro. Your ELRO, woo! Okay, I like it. The 8KE. Ooh!
Yep, you know I started from rap.
Bars. Yes, sir.
Yep, rap was my main roots. So if you're wondering why I have that dope intro, that's why. But yeah, for my podcast account, it's at joat.pod.delro. If you want to follow me on my personal account, it's at Jake_Delro. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at _Del_Ro_. And you can catch this podcast on Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, of course, my YouTube, and most recently on Radio Public. You can also catch me there as well. And as Josh mentioned earlier, please vote for me at Spring Studios PH. Head over to their Facebook page and please vote for entry number 35. It'd really go a long way if you guys would react and share, because part of the voting system is to get as much views as possible. So I'm not doing it for clout, but I just want to try my luck on these things. So please check me out there. And that's a wrap, y'all. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in today, mga Del Bros at Sistas. This has been your one and only Jake of all trades by yours truly, and I am Delro, signing out. Hanggang sa susunod na usapan at chikahan. See ya!
Peace, y'all.